It's Monday, July 9th, 2007. There are just 485 days left until the '08 election.
It's noon on the East Coast, 9 a.m. on the West.
I'm Will.
I'm Rob.
And this is Political Lunch. Welcome back to Political Lunch. We're giving the Democrats the day off today and focusing squarely on the Republican candidates, and we'll start with one who was supposed to have made it official by now.
That's right. Fred Thompson was expected to officially announce his candidacy over the July 4th holiday in his home state of Tennessee. Now, we're not sure exactly why that didn't happen, but it may have something to do with a couple of not-so-good stories that came out over the weekend.
Running for office is really about building a relationship with the public. You, through careful communication, try to build some support and then hopefully win their dedication. It's not unlike dating.
With that in mind, it's time to play Winning Moves. Will, you've got 5 seconds to answer the next question.
Bring it on.
Let's say you're in a relationship, you've seen someone for a little while, she accuses you of, let's say, cheating. What's your response?
You can't prove it.
No, sorry, that doesn't go over so well. However, that's exactly what the Thompson campaign said.
The self-described, quote, values conservative apparently lobbied on behalf of the National Family Planning and Reproductive Health Association to ease abortion restrictions.
And when the story broke, they denied it.
Then his spokesman said nobody could prove it.
Ooh, that's a really bad move. If there's one thing that will get more reporters on a story, tell them they can't prove something.
Now Thompson says he doesn't remember whether or not he lobbied for the pro-choice organization.
That just makes the piranhas even more hungry.
Damn that pesky Fourth Estate.
Now, none of this is going over well with conservatives or liberals.
As our friend Josh Marshall put it in his headline, bye Fred.
After all, Fred Thompson's claim to fame among Republicans is that he allegedly represents those values voters that some say people like Rudy Giuliani just don't.
And then on Sunday, the New York Times came out with this story about Thompson's, quote, trophy wife. That's their words, not ours.
Now, the Times speculates that some voters might be uneasy with Thompson's fairly young and very attractive wife.
But as a lobbyist and a spokeswoman for the RNC, his wife clearly shares his political proclivities, and she probably is a little sharper than he is.
Now, the News Hoggers blog already asked this question about 2 months ago. Where was the hype then?
The New York Times has taken a lot of flack for that piece, I think deservedly so. A lot of people have criticized it as an unfair fluff piece. But leave it to Rupert Murdoch's Times of London for an even fluffier piece. In May, they ran this story on Elizabeth Kucinich. Representative Dennis Kucinich proposed to her after just their second meeting.
With typical class and tact, the Times of London points out that the 29-year-old may be the first lady with a tongue stud to have her sights on the White House.
Referring to Fred and Jerry Thompson, our favorite redneck perhaps summed it up best. Fred's a lucky dog.
Moving on, one GOP candidate who's been enjoying the past few weeks is Ron Paul. Last week, the once-unknown Texas congressman reported having more money on hand than Senator John McCain.
And with money comes coverage. Over the weekend, Representative Paul sat down with ABC News' George Stephanopoulos. Here's a clip.
What's success for you in this campaign?
Well, to win.
That's not going to happen.
To simplify it, I would say I think people have underestimated the number of people in this country that are interested in a freedom message. Just being free of the government, oppression of us.
Rudy Giuliani sure is trying hard, but with mixed results. Over the weekend, he was in Florida, where he dissed the concept of a flat tax in a speech to a group of people wearing pro-flat tax t-shirts.
But he did get credit for reading up on NASCAR before attending the Pepsi 400 in Daytona, even if it was the female fan guide to motorsports that he was reading.
Meanwhile, John McCain and Mitt Romney have swapped a supporter.
New Hampshire State Representative DJ Betancourt says he has left the McCain camp and signed on with Mitt Romney because he is upset with the Arizona senator's stance on immigration.
And 1 week after dismal fundraising forced the McCain camp to let some staff go, the bloodletting has not stopped. Christian Ferry, who designed McCain's online campaign, has just recently been let go.
Now, 1 week ago, the digital marketing firm iCrossing put the McCain campaign's online presence tops in their study of each candidate's Webb campaign. We'll see if they can maintain that top spot without the staffer who made it happen.
And we'll finish today with one GOP candidate we haven't heard a whole lot from for, well, a couple of months.
Senator Sam Brownback was in Nashville on Saturday to take part in The Call, an evangelical event in which tens of thousands of Christians prayed for a miracle to rescue what they see as a nation in moral decay.
Now, Brownback used the opportunity to rail against abortion and also call for understanding regarding the debate over illegal immigration.
That's it for today's episode of The Lunch. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back here on Wednesday.